What's up, guys? Welcome back. Happy Thanksgiving to my American brothers and sisters out there. Some of you might know SSG put out an update, so version 2.1 of the 747-800 yesterday. Do a quick test flight just in Atlanta to Orlando. Kind of a ridiculous one, particularly the Korean Air livery, but it's a new livery. And as some of you guys might know, I used to live in Korea, so it makes me feel good. Big question, did they change cockpit textures? The short answer is yes, but not tremendously. There is some new texturing. Looking at the knobs and stuff on the MCP, you can see there's some grime, better shadows, some reflections that you can see, particularly with the screens off on the MFDs, BFDs. PBR on the overhead panel. Seats, new seat textures, they look better than they did. Still some bland textures around the cockpit, around the windows and stuff like that. I've got the lemon juice over here now, apparently. Or possibly a bottle of urine, I don't know. And orange juice back there. Still, these textures still pretty flat. Hopefully that stuff will get improved as well. But it does look better. The yokes have not changed. Panels, better. Yokes, not better. Overall improvement. And I'm probably going to stick with the brown now because it's Boeing colors, and I'm going to, for immersion sake, it's good for me, I guess. As you can see, I haven't done anything. The GPU you can hear is running, so we'll go ahead up to the top overhead. These buttons too, it doesn't look like they added any textures to those. Panel still kind of looks the same. These buttons still disappointing, but down here is a big improvement, I think. Also, the lights on the MCP buttons here are more realistic looking, I think. Supposedly made some changes to the sounds, the engine sounds, but I haven't noticed. Also, new textures and stuff on the wings, but again, that looks pretty similar to me as well. Mostly the overall stuff looks pretty similar. Still, the external part was like the good part in the first place, so I'm fine with that. The external model is really good, really well done. Anyway, batteries can come on, hopefully. Go to auto over here. Also, some other things. Now the packs aren't automatically in the on position, which I'm not sure what real Boeing pilots would do in that situation. External power, click that on. Go ahead and turn on the hydraulic systems on auto. And all the lights are in the on position, which I'm not going to use it. It's like an 8:30 flight, kind of ridiculous. Turn all these off, please. Go get our nav lights on, and I'll turn the packs to the on position. Don't matter none. Wait on the fuel. And we'll start aligning the IRS. Atlanta, Kilo Alpha Tango Lima, and now you can, it allows you to copy the GPS position from down here. You don't have to use the ones up top, so that's a little bit more realistic, I guess. And work on our, let's get a weather real quick.
Kilo, Alpha, Tango, Lima, airport information, Delta, 1252, Zulu, weather, wind, 326 at 12, visibility, 10, sky condition, few clouds at 15,000, few clouds at 20,000, temperature, 7, dew point, -1, altimeter, 3029, advise on initial contact, you have information, Delta.
Nice. Information Delta. Let's see, clearance delivery.
Kilo, Alpha, Tango,
118.1.
Lima, airport information, Delta, 1252, Zulu, weather, wind, 326 at 12, visibility, 1.
Clearance top of the morning to you, sir, Canada 737 Heavy at gate 171 with Avis Delta information. Identifier is 118 Romeo, and we'd like to do noise 1 today, please.
Canada 737 Heavy, Toronto clearance, PDC correct?
Altimeter, they switched the Barra thing, so it seems to work, I guess, more intuitively, like you would probably expect here. So our altimeter was 3029, which you can see over there. That's pretty cool on the info gate. Captain, thank you for the follow. Welcome. 3029 on the altimeter. Some nice heavy pressure here for us. The same thing when you hit standard. you don't have to put 2992 in there, and automatically does just hit standard, goes direct to it, and that seems to work realistically now. Or more realistically. Not a Boeing pilot, don't know. Weight and balance, we're going to do a full payload today just so we can see what takeoff performance is like at that weight. Obviously, it's still not going to be a lot of fuel because we're only going to Orlando. So let's go. Payload is going to be max for us. 100 should be 114.2. We'll load that. And fuel, block fuel, again, it's not going to be minuscule for us. 52,000. Oops.
Clearance Jordan 7323, information Delta, PDC 119.
And start fuel in there.
PDC correct, contact date for the 1220 south for push.
And we can work on our flight plan real quick.
Jordan 7323, have a good day.
Turn this down before we do better pushback and make everyone's ears bleed. Route once again Atlanta to Orlando. Ridiculous, I know. It's fine. I want to be short one. Mike, Charlie, Oscar. What are you saying? Fuel override 3 off. Yes, I know.
Clearance Jordan 7323, information Delta, PDC 119 Lima.
7323, clearance PDC correct, contact date for the 1220 south for push.
Looks like only one
Have a good day.
waypoint that's not part of a SID or a star, so we're going to go direct use Yankee Uniform Echo Sierra Sierra, and then direct to Oscar Tango Kilo. I think that's the transition for the star. Departures, wind here was 326 at 12, so we're going to go runway 27 right, and that's right behind us. Departures, 27 right. Going to be the Smolt to departure. And wallet transition. Execute that. Arrivals, AMCO. Weather real quick in Orlando. Ooh, nice. Low, IMC. Winds 340, 8 knots. Half mile visibility. Wow. Runway 35 left. 6,000 feet visibility. Okay. Mist, overcast at 500, so we're going to be basically down to minimums on the ILS there. So it'll be 3.6. We'll do 3.6 right. It's the one that's nearest to the terminal. 3.6 right. And the Piglet 6 arrival via Oscar Tango Kilo, which we already put in there. Execute that. Route, activate, execute. I think on the Zebo it allows you to step through your flight plan before you've aligned the IRS, but still cannot do that, which I'm not sure if that's realistic or not. So we go to legs. You can step, make sure we don't have any discontinuities, but we have to wait to see visually on the PFD or the MFD. Alright, got rid of all the discontinuities. We'll come back and look at that, but we can do our init ref. Zero fuel weight, 584,000. Reserves. See all this stuff, you know, working pretty good. It is a good FMC. Reserves 24,000. Pretty much half of our fuel load. 24,000 flight level. Ether flight. I did, you did, but the only reason that I was using your cockpit colors was because the textures were bad, and I think they've improved it. And I prefer to fly the realistic cockpit, and to me it looks okay now. I mean, it's not fantastic still, but I'm a Boeing guy, I guess, and stick with those colors for now. But I appreciate you. Flight level 390. Wow. Cost index 28. Now we're gonna boost it up to 100. Faux show. Don't have to do ice deviation. Also now the derated temperature, so we go flex 40 degrees. Now it actually shows derate to 99.5, and we'll derate that further. Takeoff 1. So we're gonna do 89.6 for departure for takeoff. Climb, we'll do regular climb rate.
259, I just need your flight number and PDC on one transmission. Air Canada 259119 X-ray.
Test.
Canada
What do you mean you
259,
can't hear me?
Thank you. PDC correct, data Delta, contact David 12227 for push. 9227, thanks.
Flaps 10. Oh, you bitch. Takeoff trim 7.0. There you go. Let's see if this works. This page did not work before. Let's see, runway winds 326
Jazz 946
at
on
12.
clearance, PDC correct, data now Echo, contact David 12227 for push.
Still, that does not work, but not a big deal. Oh, V1, 142,
Jazz 946, identify 120 Foxtrot with Delta.
and
Jazz
162
946
V2.
on clearance, PDC correct, data now Echo, contact David 12227 for push.
Runway heading here, 275.
Answer can 1075, looking for the IPART down here.
And 390. Oh,
Air Can 1035 on clearance, I've sent you a PDC code, have you got it now?
Negative for can 1037.
Air Canada 1037 clearance, clear to Denver by the GoPub 2 departure, flap transition, flight plan route, depart runway 05, squawk 2244.
let me get that,
Denver,
2244.
Gulf up 2, slap transition, flight plan route, depart 05, squawk 2244, can 475.
Sorry, confirm that Air Canada 1037.
Good
Yeah,
job,
right.
read back correct, see ya. Tower 119er, point 1. There we go, now the IRS line. Let's step through that real quick, make sure it doesn't look
Confirm the
wonky.
right side for Air Canada 704. Yes, please, the west lane. Thank you. Over.
And it works. Alright, flight plans in, MCP. Let me do the checklist real quick here. Oxygen checked. Flight instruments, heading we got set, altimeter set, parking brake good, fuel control switches are cut off. Actually go ahead and get those turned on now. Don't think we need the center tanks, probably nothing in there, basically ballast.
Compass 6065 LA ground, right on Bravo, taxi.
Flight deck doors checked, passenger signs on.
turn for the box, Compass 6065.
MCP, V2 heading altitude are set, takeoff speeds, V1, V-rotate, V2 set, CDU pre-flight, I'm pretty sure, roof activated, we're good. Magenta line, good. Check, trim is checked, taxi, takeoff, briefing, don't need those, and beacon, plan to push back,
turn for the box, Compass 6065.
nope, not you. Perfect.
All right, Captain. Got the directions. Let me know through the menu when you're ready.
Order Tower American 146030, woken.
Go and start the APU. APU bleed. And bleed flap is open. APU is on. Double check down there.
Tower, good day. Order Tower American 146030, woken.
N1, N2, EGT looking good. Get those on the bus. Disconnect the GPU. And we can close the door, cycle the brake, get rid of the gate. Beacon. Get both of those guys on. Go ahead and call for a pushback here.
Okay, wait for follow company 737 and 247.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Like dead on this side, we get airport on the first officer side. Twisted X? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I did a little quick short flight last night. Everything works really smoothly, and I think the cockpit looks a lot better. Yeah, that's something else. I had a memory issue. They still have not resolved whatever that is. I got the warning that said low virtual memory, had some terrain issues flying in.
All right.
I'm not sure what's causing that. I'm not a technical person. And it seems to depend where you're flying. But so far, I mean, they've been communicating well with the community, and a lot of positive fixes in, 2 weeks? That's pretty good. I'm in Atlanta, flying to Orlando. It's a ridiculous flight, particularly for Korean Air. But I just want to do a short flight to give some impressions of the new update. Just said I was going to do. Plus, you know, it's Thanksgiving here. I don't know where you're at. We'll be sitting up here all day.
Welcome aboard,
JFK too, that's probably a reasonable distance.
Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
We will kill the parking brake. Watch this magnificent little beauty push back here. There you go.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
The frames seem okay on the ground. They drop a little bit in the air, and like I said, like when I was on approach last night, I got that low memory warning. So hopefully that's not going to happen. I have like a hard crash on here. So if the game just cuts out completely, it wasn't my fault. Externally though, man, it looks really good. Yeah, I know a couple guys that have done that. They're doing the PMDG 747. I don't have P3D, nor do I have the hard drive space for another flight simulator, so kind of stuck with X-Plane in that regard. But so far I've been pretty pleased with the SSG. Even the first version, 2.0, I think got a lot of negative, I mean maybe some of it rightfully, like with the frame rate issue. It's a lot of negativity though I think was unwarranted. Go start firing these guys up. Packs 2 and 3 off. Showing the engine page. Engines 3 and 4.
Push on Delta, tail to the east. Delta, tail to the east, Southwest 1494.
Yeah, what's your process? I don't know. I'm not a real Boeing pilot. I usually do 3 and 4. I guess what you might do in real life is probably 2 and 3 and then taxi on those 2, and then when you're getting close to takeoff, light the other ones up. Just for fuel consumption. I'm not sure. I personally do 3 and 4 and then 1 and 2.
Good afternoon,
What we need is a real Boeing pilot to give us the process. So I go 3 and 4 on.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
They also updated the takeoff calls. Sounds like a French guy. You and me both, buddy. I don't know. Find a real Boeing pilot. Watch a takeoff here. Oops. 1 and 2. Hey, gamer called Chris. Welcome. Yeah, you know, I've done a couple of streams with the...
And we're disconnected.
The first
Signal
version?
pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
2.0, and I kind of liked it, but so far I've been pretty impressed. There's still some frame rate issues, and I was getting a memory issue, so it's still using a lot of memory for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but overall, I'm really happy with it. Alright, 4 engines started. Those are all generators already on, so we can get the APU gen off, APU off, APU bleed off, packs 2 and 3 back on. And see if there's our signal. See it. Turn off these lights too, don't need those. Overall too, I think it flies really well. It feels very heavy, which I guess is what most of us are looking for. Let's do a little flight control check. I don't know if it solves. Ither, who was just in here, he made the gray and black textures. I don't know if somebody changed the textures themselves, but they upgraded the textures. It's not just like the flat brown plastic looking stuff. I mean, the inside obviously looks a lot better now to me. Here we go. Checked. Anti-ice, we got an auto recall. Good. Auto brakes armed, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear. Flaps 10.
Company's off Bravo 18, heads up for that.
Set those, and then after takeoff, so we go engine, clear this guy. Taxi lights.
Ground, southwest.
And see if we get a takeoff config warning here.
Push west Quebec.
Oops, hit the gear button.
Frequency 133.5. Company's off Bravo 18, heads up for them, push your discretion.
Push our discretion. Bravo
And we're
10,
good.
southwest 141.
That's 1067, clearing all 31, Alpha 9.
1067 ground for Alpha 9er, tag to be in November, Papa, and Tango, cross runway 23 right, 22 left.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We're gonna have to stand by. Unless you guys want to listen to those marker warnings. Appreciate those when you're landing, but if anybody knows how to silence the marker bells in cockpit, that would be helpful.
1067 ground for Alpha 9er, tag to be in November, Papa,
Middle marker.
and Tango, cross runway 23 right, 22 left.
November Papa Tango.
Ground, southwest 1785, check.
So 1785, you're going to wait for company opposite direction on Yankee. They're going to Bravo 17. Behind them, taxi to 31 center via Yankee Tango. Hold short, runway 31 right, remain this frequency.
Yankee Tango, hold short, 31 right behind company on Yankee, going to 31 on center, southwest 1785.
Go ahead and switch that to tower. Seven right. We found it. Verified.
0609 on runway 8 left. Clear to land.
And brakes.
Delta 2833.
Park and brake. Your quality. Thank you. Let's see. Are we doing anything else? Departure frequency. Landing departure. 125.65. Lights, outbound, outboard, inboard, turn off the taxis, don't need those. Strobes can come on. Transponder, TARA, Go ahead and get terrain on my side and weather on the first officer side. Weather. There you go. And let's see, flaps are set 10 and indicating stabilizer drift at 7. Set. Auto brakes, RTO, and our speed brakes are armed. Good to go. Korean Air flying domestic routes in the U.S. for some reason. 390-mile ones with a 747, 8 intercontinental. That's fine. Parking brake off. Go get this sound back up just so I don't forget later. You guys can suffer through the beeping for a second.
Spinway's 165 in the approach in, cross runway 9 right, follow the 75 on your right.
27 on the pavement.
Lima ground point 75.
Cross 9 right, cross 9 west, follow 75, ground point 75, 0165.
There we go. Oh yeah, just doing a ferry flight with 400 of my closest friends. What up, 40%, stabilize, auto throttle armed, accepts, a little crosswind correction, forward pressure on the yoke.
The approach in, cross runway 9 right, follow the 75 on your right, cross runway 9 left,
rolling.
Ground point 75.
Cross 9 right, cross 9 west, follow 75, ground point 75, 0165.
80 knots.
Thank you. Korean Air with a French guy.
V1.
V1, flying now, boys.
Rotate.
There we go.
V2.
Clear takeoff 8 right. Arnav Ronnie, 2170.
Positive rate. Flaps 5.
Delta 2174, caution my turbines, part 81767 departure corridor, Arnav Ronnie, runway 8 right, set takeoff.
Clear takeoff 8 right. Arnav Ronnie, 2174.
Flaps 1. There we go, clean up the slats here.
Contact Potomac departure today. Southwest 1755.
Oh yeah, get on departure here. Whoops.
Delta 1349, on maintain 7000, Southwest 1749.
Fuel tanks. Manual overrides off. Cross feeds off. Get rid of that warning. So far, so good.
16, contact departure 12432.
2432 and traffic to the side, W516, good day.
Thank you.
We'll go get the autopilot on. Handle some other stuff here. Coming up on 10,000. Already turned the taxis off. Turn the outboards off.
0516, kind of departure 12432.
2432 and traffic inside W5, can't get it.
Thank you.
10,000. Turn all the externals off.
Southwest 1749, climbing to 8,000.
8,000 Southwest 1749.
Southwest 1749, climbing to 8,000.
8,000 Southwest 1749.
To Whiskey Charlie, climbing to maintain, flight level 190, and departure 12432.
190 and 2432, November 9 to Whiskey Charlie.
EFB, what do you mean? The fuel system? Just on the speed brakes there.
To Whiskey Charlie, climbing to maintain, flight level 190, and departure 12432.
190 and 2432, November 9 to Whiskey Charlie.
Oh, yeah. It's not the same as the Zebo, but it works. So there's your ground control. You can open all the doors. You can connect the GPU there. Main elect, I'm not sure what that is. I haven't even looked at that. Fueling, you can select hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, or thousands of pounds. Unless you got it on kilos, and payload is basically the same way. So I just got it on max for this one. And then you got your options and sound stuff. It's not bad. It gets the job done, and it's better from what I understand than version 1. Let's go Atlanta Center. 2105. Have a look around the cockpit now that we're moving around. The back also, all this stuff seems to, I don't know if it's like the shadows or something, but this area looks a lot better. As far as I can tell, the main cabin that's modeled up here is pretty much the same.
American 1272, contact 133.42.
Only the upper floor is modeled. You can go downstairs, but it stops kind of when you get to the back of the galley.
Number 3416, how does that having look for you?
Not the best textures and stuff back here, but serviceable, and plus I don't really ever go back here, so I don't care.
Alright, we'll go ahead and take the 10 to the right. Like I said, we're not coming up with anything on the radar. Everything's off to the left for our radar. But
okay, number 3416, planning 055.
055, number 3416.
Cockpit though looks a lot better. I couldn't really put my finger on precisely what they did. Shadows or a little bit of like texturing around knobs and stuff like that. That looks a lot better. Missed our transition altitude, so now you can just click standard, and it goes to 2992, which is, I guess, what you would expect. Before you had to manually select your altimeter down here and then click standard to switch them. So that works, I guess, like you would imagine the real plane does. As far as I noticed, I don't think that they changed the wing flex. The wing flex is still very minimal on here. Not sure if we're expecting any turbulence, but you can see the wings move. It's just not like it is in the real plane yet. I know that it's something that they're working on, is increasing the amount of wing flex. but they move. The nacelles jiggle around.
Sorry, 702, climb maintain level 290.
Maintain level 290, get 30 minutes.
Sorry, 702, climb maintain level 290.
Maintain level 290, get 30 minutes. Delta 2930, 28. Oh.
Also 2930, 718 level 210.
Set a maintain level 210, Delta 2930. Delta 2930, 28. Oh.
Also 2930, 718 level 210.
Set a maintain level 210, Delta 2930.
Number 3416, fly heading 100, 100 heading.
100, Denver, 3416.
You got a quartering tailwind now, 62 knots, 512 ground speed while we're climbing. That's pretty decent. Not going to take too long to get there, which is good. One thing, like, I guess they could work on, like, I know, for example, right now, there's no direct sunlight on any of the flight displays, but in the Zebo and stuff like that, you can still see some sort of reflective texturing on the screens. So if you get light on the PFDs and MFDs, then you can see, you know, some dust and smudges and stuff like that on them. Same thing down here. I don't know how you would add that or how that works, but it looks weird when you're looking at it. It's just like this dark black texture. These lights on the MCP though, those are improved. Those look more realistic now. Same thing. If you zoom in here, you can see like some grime and stuff on the knobs. But it's weird though that there's no sort of uniformity in terms of detail though. Like you can go, obviously they've added a lot of detail to the paneling down here, but then if you look at the yoke, it's still like this. It's obviously a plastic black thing. Seats look better.
Delta 92 Heavy is checking on. We're climbing to 230, still on a 140 heading, and a few more miles we'll be able to turn to Yahoo, you know.
Still an improvement.
Center, hello, expect a little bit of light top in the climb.
This kind of stuff, whatever this
Yahoo up higher for
Artifacting
you.
is down here. It looks like
Delta 92.
ants crawling over, and that's still an issue. And it seems to be only around the cockpit. Like you can see it externally too. If we zoom in, see it down there. I'm not sure what causes that. That needs to get fixed.
Center Delta 92 Heavy is checking on. We're climbing to 230, still on a 140 heading. In a few more miles, we'll be able to turn to Yahoo Lolita.
Delta 92, Center Hello, expect a little bit of late top in the climb, and you know, when you can make the turn to Yahoo up higher for you.
Delta 92, thank you.
You know, I'm not sure. I don't have the what is it, the FMC thing from the X-Plane store, so I don't know. Not the person to ask. I would guess so, because it has the pop-out FMC feature, which is what you need, right? So I'm guessing. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Well, if you got an iPad, give it a go. So you don't need the actual FMC thing that they sell in the store.
3342 to 2930.
Almost to cruise. Why do I have the auto brakes on? I don't remember setting that. Let's do our checklist. I think it's pretty minimal for cruise here.
Climb down flight level 290
Yeah, nothing until
Delta
descent.
92 Heavy, and we're in a left-hand turn for Yahoo.
Delta 92, thank you. Climb maintain level 290.
Climb now flight level 290 Delta 92 Heavy, and we're in a left-hand turn for Yahoo.
Also, one thing I noticed as well, like when you deploy the thrust reversers before the slats would retract as well, like really fast, which was apparently a real feature of the airplane, but not that fast. It's kind of wonky because of X-planes. So I think they've disabled that. The slats stay extended while you've got the thrust reversers out. Haven't noticed there was a thing during replays where the elevators would be stuck in the up position. I'm not sure if that's fixed or not yet because I didn't watch a replay, I don't think. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that and the game won't crash because of a memory leak or something when we're landing. Under the weather there was low IMC, so expecting a lot of clouds. I'm not sure what that's going to do to frame rate or memory usage. Let's double check and see what weather is doing now. Currently, refresh here, buddy. Still IMC conditions. Still low visibility, 1/2 mile visibility. Runway 35 is 6,000 feet visibility. Overcast at 400. Our minimums are 200. So, gonna be cutting it close, but we're not doing a go around. We'll slam it down if we have to. I don't think I'll set the minimums here. 200.
Delta 92, climb maintain level 330.
Climb now 330 Delta 92.
Also, you can't still... I've got buttons bound on my keyboard to change the heading, because sometimes if the plane's in turbulence or you're turning, it's hard to use these little knobs, and that doesn't work at all. And I can't... The button to sync up the heading doesn't work either, so you gotta manually use that. Still, I'm not sure. I guess if you had the peripherals, the actual knobs,
Delta 92,
maybe those
climb
would still
maintain
work.
level 330.
Climb now 330 Delta 92.
Cover 3416 to set a maintain fault
Here
level
we go, coming up on cruise. Ground speed's still pretty decent. 528. Let me get this VNav. Once we level off, it'll show us how far we gotta go. Here we go, 39,000. Now we got 126 miles to top of descent. Shouldn't take us too long at this speed. Actually figured out top of descent at 1450 Zulu. It's 1435, so 15 minutes. Anybody wants to grab a coffee or an adult soda? It is Thanksgiving. Day drinking permitted. Also, something else that they haven't fixed, which is kind of annoying to me. Like, if you look out here at the fan blades on this side, it doesn't appear to wobble. It's a steady thing. But if you look at the outer one on the right, you see kind of like oscillates. Should not happen. I'm not sure if this one does. Yeah, both of the right engines wobble around a little bit. Not sure if that's been noted in the bugs list. There's actually a lot of this artifacting now. I don't remember that being there around the iPad before.
American 1843, flight level 250, continuous chop.
Continuous 43%,
See if this works. Left. Alright, yeah, you can switch. That all works. Nice.
Cover 3416, contact center 133.42.
3342, number 3416.
If I had to guess, I'd say we're getting close to Florida. There seems to be like a hard line on the ortho there. Let's have a look, see where we're at.
Cover 3416, contact center 133.42.
Henry Tift-Myers, yeah, there's the Georgia-Florida line, not too far. Also, I noticed before in version 2.0 there seems to be like a tendency where like the flight directors would line you up a little bit to the left of the runway or the right. They were off a little bit, so we'll put that to the test. We're going to be, I think, probably in low visibility all the way to the runway.
Right up to about 26, and then about 28 we start to get.
And it seemed only when you were hand flying it, so we'll disconnect the autopilot when you get turned on final and stabilize, and I'll fly it in using the flight directors. And hopefully we don't crash. I want to see some replays.
92, contact center 128.75 today.
78
128.75
miles.
Delta
About 10 minutes.
It was a fairly decent
Let's
ride
have a
up
look
to
and
about
see what we need
26,
to
and
descend
then,
to.
about 28, we started getting some light chopping.
Thank you, sir.
So your 3000 is your initial approach fix, or I guess final approach fix where we can intercept the ILS. So I'll put 3000 there, and then we'll take over on final.
American 1843, reset transponder, spark code 3470.
I think we're in Florida.
0370, American 1843.
American 1843, squawk 3470, 3470.
3470, American 1843.
American 1843, reset transponder, spark code 3470.
0370, American 1843.
American 1843, squawk 3470, 3470.
3470, American 1843.
Jacksonville Center, nice. And I think approach control 119.4.
American 1843 to 718, level 190.
Level 190, American 1843.
See top of descent over there on the first officer's MFT.
American 1843 to 718, level 190.
Level 190, American 1843.
And let's do this. Arrival rate is 120.525.
We are turning at this very moment, American 1843.
Put that on the active and turn on this radio. So hopefully we'll get that when we get in range. It seems like the frame rate issues only happen in the cockpit while you're at cruise altitude. I don't really notice it on the ground. The wing views I've got set are okay. The external views as well.
American 1843, contact center 133.42.
American 1843, good night.
American 43, contact center 133.42.
American 1843, good night.
Southwest 5279, 33.5 for 290, deviate and Providence.
Southwest 5279, center a little bit of light traffic.
What do you think?
Should get the top of descent over on our MFT here in a second, so we'll go ahead and roll this down to 3,000. VNAV all the way, baby. There she is. Pretty good tailwind now, 539 knots. Florida is a weird state. It's just like Swiss cheese. It's swamp pretty much most of the state.
Good evening, Delta 4, 08 heavy, 13.6 for 190, present heading.
Delta 408, Boston Center, can you bring a little bit of light traffic time, having seen at level 37?
Say the altitude again.
Flight level 370, Delta 408.
370, Delta 408.
So if anybody has any questions, let me know. We probably got about 30 minutes left here.
Good evening, Delta 408 heavy, 13.6 for 190, present heading.
Delta 408, Boston Center, can you bring a little bit of light traffic time, having seen at level 37?
Say the altitude again.
Flight level 370, Delta 408.
370, Delta 408.
It's 5279, descend maintain flight level 200.
Flight level 200, Southwest 5279.
It's 5279, descend maintain flight level 200.
Flight level 200, Southwest 5279.
Here we go, 14 miles to get a weather check. See, let's actually look at active sky and see what it's saying for Orlando. Still not seeing those clouds. Oh, yeah, there's some clouds. 330 at 9 knots, visibility 0.5, overcast 400, 3023. Also, supposedly, look down here,
Bus 5279, contact center 135.8.
they've changed how the plane handles the sharp turns with every step. You can zoom in a bit. There we go. They've changed how the plane handles these sharp turns. So normally I would vector this, because this would be a discontinuity in real life, a vector, so you ATC and stuff.
Contact center 135.
But I'll just let the plane handle it and see what it does.
358, Southwest 5279.
That's a what is this? Wavia? Waven. Waven to Tigger.
The 408, 1 able, clear direct Yahoo.
Probably about 10 more miles.
Okay.
We're descending. Not sure what happened there. The line on the LNAV line shifted over there a few miles. Look at that. Let's go.
Probably about 10 more miles.
Legs. Jasmine. Direct. Execute. I guess online.
JetBlue 1646, level 370, and direct to Ruiz.
JetBlue 1646, clear direct to Proby, and there is an area of moderate heavy precipitation, 12 o'clock.
Still getting the contrails coming out the front of the engines on descent.
Direct to Proby, and
Sometimes. Recall checked. Notes. Auto brake is set. Landing date VREF 30 at 1:45.
408 contact.
Minimums we got set. And approach briefing. Let's have a look.
Delta 408. Good night.
ILS 36 right. Minimums are 200. Missed approach. Climb to 500, then climbing left turn to 3000 on heading 309. And on the ORL Vortag radial 248. 6 DME from ORL, and then hold, continue climb in hold to 3000. So good, 3000 is our missed approach altitude, and we'll just leave that on the MCP. Approach briefing complete. Not doing a go around anyway. And altimeters are next, 18,000.
408 contact center on 128.75.
2875 Delta 408. Good night.
Thanks.
It's good the contrail's not sticking out the front of the engines now. Let's see if we have a decel, see if that comes back.
Blue 1646, maintain level 310.
Out of 37 for 310 for JetBlue 1646.
Blue 1646, maintain level 310.
Out of 37 for 310 for JetBlue 1646.
Charlie 1646, there's still an area moderate temperature through 12 o'clock, starting about 40 miles.
FMC
to
message
20
drag
miles
required.
Right advised.
We copy. Thank you, Jeff.
Not sure why. Alright, we can see the whole area where the airport is. There's no weather showing up on the radar. I'm going to turn that off. A little bit of vapor coming out of the front of the nacelles now. That's hopefully going to get fixed at some point. Apparently only on the left engines. And let's switch it over to approach control.
1749, coming maintain 13,000, contact departure 12432.
118.45 for tower.
13, 13,000, 2432, every day, Southwest 74. Bye.
Out of 1,300, climbing via the city, maintain 8,000.
9779 aboard to our contact, climbing maintain, followable 190.
Climb now 190, 7. Out of 1,300, climbing via the city, maintain 8,000.
9779 aboard to our contact, climbing maintain, followable 190.
Climb now 190, 7.
Gilman 334, Cedar Tippery, amend the altitude 13,000, please, for traffic.
Tippery and 13,000, Gilman 334.
Orlando INTL information Tango.
Here we go.
1300 Zulu weather. Wind 340 at 6. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 350 overcast. Temperature 21. Dew point 18. Altimeter 3023. Arriving runways 36 left, 36 right, 35
Nice.
left, 35 right. Departing runways 36 left, 36 right, 35 left, 35 right. Advise on initial contact, you have Tango.
There you go, information Tango. We got, so their arrival runway, 36 left, 36 right. We're doing 36 right. Saying now 10 miles visibility, overcast still at 350 feet though. So it'll be 150 feet to minimums, or above minimums, hopefully when we break out. 3023, we've already got set. Just gotta switch it over to standard once we get at the transition altitude, which is coming up.
Departure 12432.
Oh, where did the clouds go? I'm not going to complain if we get no clouds, but it's not what I just heard. Maybe it's a very localized layer of overcast.
24, counting departure 12432.
2432, no,
Almost at 18,000. We'll go ahead and switch that over there so I can just get it off my list of things to do. Altimeters are set. And landing checklist is last.
Approaching destination Skylane, EQ, Papa Charlie 5500, Oscar, Livermore.
Bridge Papa Charlie, approach, good afternoon, altimeter is 2998.
2998, Q Papa Charlie. Approaching destination Skylane, EQ, Papa Charlie 5500, Oscar, Livermore.
Bridge Papa Charlie, approach, good afternoon, altimeter is 2998.
2998, Q Papa Charlie.
United 268, climbing to 1,300 on the truck.
United 268 departure, you better contact. Command the altitude maintain 4,000 please for traffic.
4,000, United 268.
That is the airport right there. So I'm not sure where this layer of overcast was. I think we might get lucky on this one. Got no excuses for a bad landing though.
United 268, climbing to 1,300 on the truck.
United 268 departure, you better contact. Command the altitude maintain 4,000 please for traffic.
4,000, United 268.
United 268 traffic, 7 north U, southwest, on the climbing out of 3,000 in the nearby.
Okay, guys.
Coming up on 10,000, I'm going to get these guys going too and turn our seatbelts back on.
United 268 traffic, 7 north U, southwest, on the climbing out of 3,000 in the nearby.
Like I said, once we get to the end of this downwind leg, normally that would be vectors, but it looks like the LNAV path is a little wonky, so I want to see how it handles turning back around towards final there. And I'll put the final heading, which I think is 005 for approach. Don't let me down, buddy. I don't know, maybe that layer of overcast just moved on. Or we're going to get a weather refresh when we're about 500 feet from the runway. And there's our airport right there.
United 779, counting departure 12432. 12432, United 7. United 268, traffic no factor, climb and maintain flight level 190.
190, 268.
slow it down.
Sky 4902, maintain 170 knots, and it's going to step power 120.5 today.
At 170 on
Yeah,
the
here's what I'm
speed,
talking
over
about.
and
So after we
out,
get to,
Sky
what is
4902.
this? Wavin to Silky. Might freak out a little bit.
Southwest
There we
11,
go.
48, if I was going to get a bridge or airport inside, just going to maintain
Should be able to arm the speed brake.
They're both inside, so Southwest 1148.
Speeding up. Turn our terrain off. It's Florida. Don't need it. And there's our runway.
Southwest 11, 48, if I was going to get a bridge or airport inside, just going to maintain 4,000.
4,000, they're both inside, so Southwest 1148.
Southwest 1148, cross Menlo at or above 4,000, please 6 over visual, mid-speed, left, approach, reduce speed to 210.
12210, I'm in the lateral 4, clear to Cisco visual, straight out Southwest 1148.
Mattia, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Southwest 1148, cross Menlo at or above 4,000, please 6 over visual, mid-speed.
So far, so good. Still a little bit of frame rate issues at climb. This artifacting still going on in the cockpit, but overall the textures are good. It still flies pretty well. See how she handles on landing. It seemed to be really susceptible before to crosswind, which I wouldn't expect from a plane this big. Let's see if it still rolls like that. Sounds good. Looks good. Flies good.
Southwest 1148, resume normal speed, Contact Tower 120.5.
Go ahead and get the slats out before we make this turn. It'll slow us down a little bit. Orex, hey buddy, how's it going? How you doing? Thank you, sir. Do my best.
Southwest 1148, resume normal speed, Contact Tower 120.5. Good day.
4.5, Southwest 1148, predict.
Here we go. Let's see what it does with this turn. Fortunately, it's a few miles behind the initial approach fix, so we get a little bit of time to straighten out if it goes wonky on us. We're making a final turn to the approach. Switch out to tower. Ground control 0.8.
Exit either high speed, continue via Foxtrot and contact ground 127.5.
121.800. Alright, we're on a speed. Take the speed brakes out. See the glide path there. So once we get around, we'll arm the approach. Hopefully pick up the localizer. Speed's coming back up a little bit.
46, exit either high speed, continue via Foxtrot and contact ground 127.5.
As long as it doesn't follow this little dent, just go straight to Silky, please. Alright, final approach course is set, missed approach altitude is set.
Southwest 882, turn left at the next high speed, continue via Delta 5, contact ground 127.5.
Oh, what are you gonna do here?
High speed, Delta 5,
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna follow that wonky ass line. Okay. We'll do this ourselves.
Southwest 882, turn left at the next high speed, continue via Delta 5, contact ground 127.5. Next, high speed, Delta 5, push the ground there, so.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this LNAV pathing. Alright, lights are on, auto brakes are armed, speed brakes are armed. Good to go. Start slowing down a little bit here.
Peninsula 162 Tower, good afternoon. Wind 330 at 5, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
Clear land 16 left, Peninsula 162.
Give him a little feet on the rudder pedals.
Tower, Peninsula 162, visual 165.
Peninsula 162 Tower, good afternoon. Wind 330 at 5, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
Clear land 165.
Go ahead and arm our approach. The localizer and glide slope are armed. That is our runway. Under 10 miles. Localizer and glide slope are captured.
High speed unless I change that closer in.
Okay, I'll plan for the second high speed, Peninsula 162.
I'll actually disengage the autopilot and we'll fly it from here because that's fun.
Join your rollout, planned exit on the second high speed unless I change that closer in.
Okay, I'll plan for the second high
And
speed.
give me the auto throttle too, please, thanks. And we're looking for 145. Let's see if I can get that.
Data 526, turn left next high speed, continue via Foxtrot, contact ground 127.5. Data 526, turn left next high speed, continue via Foxtrot, contact ground 127.5.
See, like this stuff feels really good with this airplane. And at lower altitudes, I don't know what it is. There we go, flaps fully set. The frame rate is fine. It's only when you're at cruise. It might be the particles because you have 4 engines that are producing contrails, chemtrails for you, tinfoil hats. But I like flying it by hand. Actually, the other day with the 2.0, I was just flying patterns with a friend somewhere, which is kind of ridiculous, but.
Cockpit 476, Tower, good afternoon, following the 737, 3.5 miles ahead. Wind 310 at 7, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Keep it here about 5 above the VREF. That should be good for us. And it looks like the flight directors are lining you up directly with the runway now. Looking good.
1,000.
Thank you. Also, the callouts before are tied to the master volume. So I had the master volume turned way down for some other airplanes, and that's why I wasn't getting callouts. So there wasn't really an issue with the plane. It was my personal X-plane settings.
Cockpit 476, target afternoon following the 737, 3.5 miles ahead. Wind 310 at 7, runway 16 right, clears to land.
Looking
500.
good. A little bit left here.
$400.
A little low.
$300. $200.
Minimums.
Here we go.
Light slow. Light slow. 100. Light slow. Light slow. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Cockpit 240, target afternoon following the South Fairchild, 6.5 miles ahead. Wind 360.
Yeah, the plane still rolls a little bit to the right for some reason when you touch down. I don't know what that is about. 89 to get over manual braking.
Turn left at the next high speed, continue via Delta 5 at Conic ground 127.5.
We missed all the high speeds there, boys. Thank you, sir. Have a park this and watch the replay here in a second.
Turn left at the next high speed, continue via Delta 5 at Conic ground 127.5. Turn, continue via Delta 5, ground southwest 4.
APU's on and available. Switch those over. Switch this to ground. And I don't know where 747 can even fit here. Double check our flaps are up. They are. Speed brakes are disarmed.
Jetty 5760, taxi Delta, Delta 8 and Echo.
Turn off these floods.
Delta 8, then Echo, Kevin Jetty 57. Jetty 5760, taxi Delta, Delta 8 and Echo. Delta 8, then Echo, Kevin Jetty 57.
Pretty sure we're not going to fit anywhere, so we'll just maybe that one there in the back. Looks like it's got a little bit of lateral space for us.
963, taxi Delta, Delta 9 and Echo.
There.
Delta 9 Echo, Spirit Wing, 963.
Came out yesterday. So for all intents and purposes, this is like the first flight, just testing it out. It seemed pretty good.
For 953, you'll be in
You can see
front
the
of that
cockpit
Falcon,
textures are a little bit
Delta
updated.
9 Echo, full length and monitor
Still some
tower.
frame rate issues, but not too bad.
Falcon, Delta 9, 24 left, full length.
See how this is going to work.
In front of the Falcon jet.
Correction.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
Tower,
Is it going to work for us?
Falcon Bravo Hotel Alpha, follow the spared yellow Airbus on exit to the full length.
Follow Spirit full length, Bravo.
Gates just crunching through our nose there.
Falcon Bravo Hotel Alpha, follow the spared yellow Airbus on exit to the full length.
Follow Spirit full length, Bravo.
There we go. Jeez, that thing is a monster. Alright, let's check a look at this. That guy's probably dead too. Replay. I don't know, to be honest. So what they said, I had an issue. They said that the Air Force One livery was one of the ones that was coming in there, and the paint kit still isn't out, so I commented about that, and they said that those things are coming. So I think that the priority is still to tighten this up. And once they get this thing pretty good, then the freighter is going to come out. So no ETA. The total from release to this version was about, what, 2 weeks? And they're communicating pretty actively on the forum, so I'm not sure what to expect, but I wouldn't imagine it's going to be too long.
V2.
V2.
Rotate.
No, we're going the wrong way. I am looking forward to the freighter, though. That way I can do trips like this and it actually makes sense. Not flying the 8i from Atlanta to Orlando. Little ridiculous. So before in the replays, the elevators would get stuck up. Let's see if that happens when we roll out here.
V1.
What?
Eighty knots.
The slats don't retract randomly with the reversers either. That's pretty good. One more, we get a wing view.
At 764 Dragon Afternoon, number 3, you're 5 miles in trail of a 737. Wind 320 at 6, runway 16 right, cleared to land.
16 right, cleared to land, United 7.
300. 200.
Minimums.
100.
At 764 Dragon Afternoon, number 3,
40,
5 miles in trail of a 737. Wind 320 at 6, runway 16 right, cleared to land.
10.
16 right, cleared to land, United 7.
Just all of the alarms. Looks like the elevator issue is fixed. Those are in a normal position now.
Third line. 1617 affirmative, number 1 now, and runway 16 right, cleared to land. Third line 16 right, thanks, disrupted.
This is where we parked, guys. I'll let it roll out here to engine shutdown, but I'm going to take off. We will see you later. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. Be back. Probably not going to be here for Failure Friday. Take a day off. Might be back on the weekend. We love you. We'll see you later. Peace, guys.